Peterkin's side. We don't take their money. Okay. This is just the grant that we paid to Peterkin to help keep it open. Peterkin's a whole different budget.
As is Sands Crest.
As is Sands Crest. You're welcome. Okay, reading camp. I can't think of another way to put this. Reading camp, I left at 5,300. Our director is no longer directing. She has retired, but I don't have to pay her anymore, okay? But she's going to do it as a sideline anyway. I love people like that. I wish I could do that, don't you? I mean, well, I don't really need the money, but I can do the job, okay? Based off of that, and the churches are doing tremendously well with their programs all on their own. I can't say enough about them, and frankly, they don't need us, okay? The only thing we really and truly do for them is buy their supplies, their books. The kids do get to go on a couple of trips here and there, okay? They're not extravagant trips. The fondest one I have is the one when Faith took them to the petting zoo, okay? And when she got back, everybody had to be able to spell. Everybody, they were very little, had to be able to spell all the animals' names, okay? Okay, and then make a short story off of at least 2 of the animals, okay? Faith did say that one of them was kind of shocking. I don't know what that meant, but I kind of let that go. Okay, some knowledge is best not to have. Okay? All right.
Question.
Sure.
Are there any diocesan funds going out to support Sands Crest?
No.
Excellent, okay.
No,
I
Sands
didn't
Crest.
think so, but it wasn't listed.
They're self-sufficient.
That's what I thought, okay, thank you.
I like them. They're so self. Okay, let's move. Okay, the National Church Assessment, that is actually based off the amount of cash, all right, that we took in 2012. Okay? I have not been able to find a spreadsheet or anything on that, and as far as I know, that's a good number.
2021?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's based on, did I say 20?
You said 12.
I did, didn't I?
20.
Okay, can you tell me how far back in our history have we gone? Okay. Yeah. Some of it you just wouldn't, okay. We do pay Prov 3, all right? Prov 3 looks at our budget and they come up with a number, and then 9 times out of 10 they give us a large cut. They always give us a large cut. That number should actually be 2,000 higher. I'm not sure why they give us a large cut, but I appreciate it, and I kind of pay the bill. Highland Educational Project, it has tremendously dropped, okay? And a lot of that is due to Mary Green. We set up basically a totally different account, which you do not see. Okay, it's on our balance sheet. It's called 2315. Anytime you send a donation to HEP, it goes into that account. And that account is used for any kind of gifts, any kind of food, any kind of transportation that any of these people need back and forth. It has also repaired some homes. Okay? This account takes care of our facility. Okay, and that's all it does, and that's strictly from the operating fund since we're operating it. We also pay, well, we were paying Mary Green out of it, which we are not now. Well, we are till, no, I'm good, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, the next one is also a Mary Green, and Mary said she could live on whatever she had the following year, the last year, so it's just a carryover. Are we good so far? I don't see a lot of people talking except these two. All right, okay. Okay, deployment, next page. I went ahead and based deployment just basically off of 218. I believe Bishop Calvin has plans there, and I'm thinking it'll probably end up more like the budget that was 2022. Okay, maybe $7,800, not 78, sorry, 15,800, possibly higher. And I want you to pay attention to what's rising here, because it's going to get really good as I come down, okay? All right. Communications, Dayspring, I'm pretty sure all of you know what that is. We have Morgantown Printing, who is actually printing it for us and mailing it. Linda Cummins is actually putting it all together for us. And Susan Barfield is also working on it. Yeah? Yeah. Health
Did you
Ministries.
skip evangelism? Sorry.
Did I? You know, I did. Okay. It has an increase, okay, basically for communications. We're hoping to have a communications director next year, and that will be part of the budget.
Thank you.
I don't like this one. Let's see, Health Ministries. Health Ministries really hasn't cost us anything, and I would like for it to, okay? I can't think of putting it another way. We used to have like a $4,000 to $5,000 budget for them, and they were exceptionally busy all the time, and I just kind of missed them, okay? The 250 is basically for a flyer that will probably go out for them on a month-to-month basis that we produce. Let me see, women's ministries. I don't want to do that one. Okay, racial diversity. Here, what is this?
Oh, you're losing your minds.
Yeah, I'm losing my lines. I'm losing my lines, not my mind, but the mind's going quickly. Okay, Bishop Calvin does want to increase this one. Okay, so I am assuming that that will probably, with any luck at all, be more than $3,000, okay, for this next year. Women's ministries.
What's it used for? Racial diversity? Education.
It's more training than it is anything else, okay, although
Who provides training?
I'm not really sure who the committee is this year, or for next year.
An in-house training, or do you contract that out?
No, it's normally a group of churches, okay? I believe Harold Stewart did it for a great deal of time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Kim,
he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And I
Kim
think they
Webster
use
hold-
The Province 3 resources too, I think they use that a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
and some of these resources we do have to pay for, okay? And we do what we can to make sure that, you know, people aren't being, how do I put that, overstretched on their own money, okay? You know, we're the diocese, we should take better care of you, and you know what I mean.
But to your point, the people who do it are in-house.
Does it go out to deaneries or,
They add up and they go, like if Emmanuel and Kaiser had them come and do a presentation on Saturday, for instance, where there were people not only from Kaiser, but from surrounding areas that came. So they do go out, I know that. I know I participated in one in Parkersburg at one time.
It's something that has not been offered for the last few years because of the pandemic and for other reasons. It's offered by the Commission on Racial Diversity in the diocese. They are trained by folks through Province 3, and I imagine that that might be part of the cost as well, to get the facilitators and trainers trained exteriorly, as well as resources and other materials.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I do have a question, and this is going back to the Highland Education Project.
Yes,
You said that Mary's leaving, that there wouldn't be a salary there, but if there's a new
actually working 2 part-time jobs.
Right.
Okay, Mary actually had communications, okay, was paid for that. Mary actually had HEP, was paid separately for that, okay? So the HEP part, okay, isn't exactly settled. At the time of the budget, okay, Mary's salary was left in, okay? So I'm not positive if we're going to have churches help us as far as HEP is concerned, which is an alternative, okay? Or if we're going, okay, or, you know,
But you did add a little bit to the communications piece.
well, I thought she was getting a raise too. I mean,
Okay.
you've got, you
So
know.
that her salary for communications was on the other line?
Yes,
I got you.
all right,
That's what I thought.
okay. I'm looking, okay. I'm on women's ministry, right? See how good the piece of paper works? All right. I'm hoping they have a retreat next year. They normally have a retreat every year. And they normally have it at Peterkin, which is always great for me. I want everybody to go to Peterkin to do something. No, I've never been there. Okay, all right. Have you?
I lived there for a while.
Grants for mission. I would really like as many churches as possible to go out online to the website, read what the grant for mission is for. If you've got anything at all that you can use a slice of that money for, I encourage you to do so as quick as you can, okay? The announcement will probably come out here in December, no later than probably the 1st or 2nd week of January, okay? We're hoping to pay out the 50. What we paid for the bishop, and this has been going on forever, for him to belong to Edgewood Country Club.
Yeah, I was glad that.
He has taken Bishop Klussmeyer. Bishop Klussmeyer has taken that membership with him. This is no longer an expense for us.
Wait a second, can you say that again?
Bishop Klussmeyer is taking his membership with him, and we will no longer have the bill. We're not picking up Edgewood for Bishop Calvin.
What about,
So it's,
what about the Audi automobile was purchased by the diocese? Is it true that was given to Bishop Plussmeyer?
To a point, okay? The bishop is responsible for the depreciation of the vehicle from his last day until the depreciation is paid. And it wasn't very old.
so he'll be reimbursing.
He'll be reimbursing the diocese for
Will
it.
be?
Yes.
So what's the bishop's reserve here, if we no longer have
Well,
the
they
membership?
budgeted it at the time, not knowing, because the budget was done, like I said, months ago. So, at that time, yeah, it was actually done last May. So, at that time, they were assuming that they would retain a membership to the club, which they are not. So that 9,500 will go away. It will go to zero.
So the bishop doesn't have like
I would think you should.
a discretionary
That's
fund or
He
something like
does.
that? He does separate from all of
Correct.
this? Okay.
Why did he have, I mean, I'm back, I didn't hear it all, about why he had a membership to the country club?
Yes.
Many moons ago, prior to David and myself, Marlon Witt set him up at Edgewood Country Club and gave him the bishop's reserve.
Did he also set up why the bishop had to fly first class? when he
I believe that was a knee problem from what I was told.
Wait a second, like, time, I always hear that one
Sure.
more time.
It was a knee problem where he had difficulty flying on planes.
So, they let him fly first class because he had a knee problem.
Apparently. Bishop Calvin does not have any problem.
I didn't think so.
And what was, I gotta tell you, this was so exciting. I got his first reservation, okay? And it was through Expedia. And I'm sitting here going, you gotta be kidding me. Anyhow,
Isn't an Audi kind of a smaller car? Does that cramp his knee at all? Or?
actually, no. No, not the one he bought, no.
Not the one he bought.
He got the SUV.
Okay.
I thought we were looking at the future
Okay.
budget, not the past
I-
expense.
No, we gotta look at the
Wait,
past to know
wait.
where we're going in the future.
While
There's a
we're
lot that we
talking-
don't know about.
While we're talking about vehicles,
Yeah.
all right? I'm going out there so somebody can smack me hard, all right? We need vehicles, okay? We have an old Tucson that if Bishop Calvin drives one more time, okay, I'm gonna start following him, all right? And I'm not exaggerating this, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this story. Bishop Mark also drove this vehicle, okay? And he drove it the whole time he was here. And we had somebody take it out, I think it was a youth director, Sarah Guntner. You're gonna love this, okay? And Sarah Guntner noticed a bunch of tissues stuck in the door, okay? I got hold of Bishop Mark because it looked funny, all right? It had electrical problems then, okay? And Bishop Mark, coming from Africa,
Have wheels, yeah.
had wheels. He had stuck these tissues in here so the alarm would quit going off. Okay, all right. I now have Bishop Cowden in that vehicle, all right? So we're going to get him a Jeep, all right? Is a Jeep okay? Is that a good idea? All right. Now Slater, we got to get Ken Slater one too, and I don't know, he said something about some Subaru thing, all right? Well, he drives one now, okay? But we will be purchasing, with any luck at all, okay? And the trustees and the council agree, 2 vehicles. And they're very much needed, okay? I don't see anybody angry, are they?
Subarus get much better mileage than Jeeps.
Yeah, why are we getting a Jeep?
Yeah, I
Why
mean, that's
are
not
we
a
getting a
practical,
Jeep?
yeah, it's not practical.
I thought about a Subaru.
Well, it is a Rubicon. This is a,
life of the Subaru is much
I wanted something that was American-made, something that would feel safe going in a few parts of the state that I've been in, that I've questioned where the dips actually happen. And it's also a manual.
The Subarus are so safe. Yes, the safety.
they want you in a Subaru, like,
Maybe we need to get a Subaru.
well, maybe, but.
Oh, they're wonderful. Whatever, get him a good car, get him something safe.
They'll climb cliffs.
Well, actually, the numbers I saw on the Jeep, because yeah, I looked before, okay, down payment, okay? The numbers on the Jeep looked really good to me, all right? Now, let's remember, okay, even though you don't know, my ex-husband used to be, you know, Mr. Racer, all right? So I've been around a lot of vehicles, all right? Yes, I am stupid. I drive a black convertible all year, okay? But it is also front-wheel drive. Okay, she gets really good mileage. She's only a 4-cylinder. I'm not out hot and tailing around, but the top goes down, and that's important. Okay. All right.
Get a sunroof.
It's not good. What? You want to get back to the budget, don't you? All right.
Yes.
We're trying to just get to know each other here. Let's see. Okay. Congregational development. I don't know why that's $3,000, except, no, I really don't. I don't know why that was lowered. This item is very important. 8,600 parish and other endowment support. That doesn't really belong here. I don't know how it ended up on the budget. That's money immediately out.
Where does it come from?
It's actually part of the investments, and what that actually does, okay, let's start over. We have a series of investments that actually belong to the churches, okay? And you guys receive money from those.
Is that West Banco or?
All right, West Banco, yes. Okay, but in order for us to balance out those statements, and since they are called diocesan owned, which is something I don't want to do anymore, because the diocese has to say, yeah, you can have the money, okay, which is never a big deal anyway, all right? These have to show in our assets, and then we expense that part out.
So is the earnings, are the earnings from that fund, I assume it's a combined fund of some sort, are they reflected in
No.
this endowment income?
No,
Flows right through.
they flow right
Makes
through.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it shouldn't be,
Why is it expended if it's not shown as coming in?
exactly, it shouldn't be on the statement.
Okay,
It's a correction that needs to be made.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Bad debts, this is basically what it is, where, you can't pay the apportionment. That's really all that is. We put 10,000 in it every year, just in case, all right? So if anybody needs an apportionment reduction or anything along those lines, that's where it's going to show up. All right, yeah, I got to do a lot quicker. Clergy and wellness, this is actually Clergy Day, okay? This one's going to be going up too. Bishop Cowden would like to spend more time with the clergy rather than just lunch at Fairmont. I think that's easy enough, isn't it? Stewardship, there's a small increase here as per Bishop Cowden. Okay, they had a really nice gathering not that long ago before the pandemic. Kind of hoping that happens again. Ministry development, that's just based on a prior year, okay, because I don't have anybody over top of it yet, but I will. Commission on spirituality, I don't know why it was reduced. I have nothing on that. Commission on ministry is a carryover. Basically, I went back in time, and if you see it was 78, I rounded it up to 8,000. IONA expenses, I'm not sure about this one. This one's probably going to go up. Okay, that amount was based upon the idea of a lot of it being done online. They're starting to meet again. That'll come up to at least 43.5. Education for ministries was just looked out. So I guess I'm not educating anybody this year. The Harper grant should be listed for $15,000. Okay, we do the Harper grant every year. I'm not sure what happened.
What is the Harper grant? Could you quick?
It's a grant that helps congregations that ministry to the elderly.
Oh,
It often funds things like improvements for ramps and that, and assistive devices, elevators, assistive devices. And there's a committee on which I've served a few years, and we receive the requests from the churches, and then we make recommendations to diocesan council.
Thank you.
And I'm not sure if that is met this year.
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
I mean, I wasn't on it this year, so I don't know that I don't think it usually meets in the fall. We usually have an online meeting in the fall.
Commission for Children, this actually got rolled up into youth. This doesn't exist. We don't even use the account anymore. Standing committee, that's just for them to have lunch when they come into the office. Well, it is what it is, All right, regular maintenance. Okay, this is based on the actuals that we actually have, like Davies Tree Service, Orkin. If Mullins comes in, we also have Valley Gardens, Air Gas. I did a small increase on those just in case. Because everybody seems to think they have to increase bills. We dropped major maintenance, basically because major maintenance got lifted up to $1,500, which makes it, in our case, a capital expense. So it's not going to be on an income statement anyway. Telephone bill. This is ATS, Suddenlink, Frontier, AT&T, PGI, Cannon Slater's phone bill, because he won't take one of our phones, he wants to use his own. Tracy's phone bill, because she won't take one of ours, she wants to use her own. Okay. Moving on down, utilities. Utilities are actually based on the actuals from 12/21 with who I think is going to increase.
Let me just ask you, that telephone bill going up $8,000 this year, is that because people won't use the phones in the diocese, so why?
Well, let's go back to that, okay? There is two bills in here, okay, that were picked up, which are now being dropped. One of those is the Yellow Pages, which was $16,000. a year. The other one is PGI, which is $4,800 a year. Both of those are going to be dropped, so I'm thinking that's going to be a lot less. But it really didn't have anything to do with our cell phones. Okay?
Well, wait,
It's internet, it's everything that goes into the diocesan.
All of it.
Cell phones.
And also, we are now renting our phones from ATS for almost $700 a month, which is something else we're fixing.
the $16,000 is being dropped from the Yellow Pages. Is that, so does that make that number really?
A lot less.
It makes it a lot less.
This is not a real number then?
But when the budget was made, that was still in there, right?
And we were keeping them. And we are changing the phones. I think most of you would be grateful to hear that. We're going to see if we can get out of the contract we're in. Okay, possibly get a less expensive, how do I put that? Dummy phone, okay, where you push a button and say hello, and you can just transfer it to somebody. Okay, these are exceptionally elaborate. I feel maybe St. Mary's has them. Okay, but we don't need them. Okay, and we don't need $700 a month to rent cell phones. I mean, to rent the telephones. Okay.
Well, unless, because if you got the fiber optic system that's being offered in Charleston right now with the quote-unquote executive seat, that would allow you to transfer phones coming into the diocesan number to cell phones for the canon, for the bishop, for others who are traveling, thus.
Oh, but I could do that on a cheaper phone. Okay, not, you're right, okay, and we are doing that, okay, and the first time I did it, I just felt like I was really somebody. But the phone system that we have, okay, is actually set up for more of CAMC, okay, plus our backup for it right now isn't working out well. We're not happy with the phones, okay? They're very difficult. I should be able to transfer a phone call with one hit, not three. Okay, yeah.
We have a company in Wheeling that we just got new phones at St. Matthew's Wheeling, a company that's owned by an Episcopalian, and they have offices in other places in the state. So it's Advanced Communications Company.
I
can
know
get your
them.
contact information for them.
Thank you. Send it to me, please. Okay?
And I even can work the phone.
Huh?
I said, I can't even work the phone.
We need those. You do? All right.
Sort of.
The utilities are based on actuals, and it just includes a small increase. Office expenses. This is basically directories, the Bishop's Appeal, and the Shell Awards.
Shell awards?
I don't have anywhere else to put them. We need an account. It does seem a bad place for them. I mean, are you noticed a lot of these are coming down?
Yeah.
Are you noticing that our ministries are going up? Okay, just want to make sure. All right. Okay, postage. It is set at $73.50. We are going to get rid of that. We're kind of thinking we can purchase one, all right, and maybe for a couple of $1,000, I can have it fixed if I really have to. And I don't think it's going to run $1,000 or $2,000 to have it fixed anyway. But I'm thinking we can wipe most of that out.
Which line is this?
Copier. Did I say postage?
Yeah.
Can you tell how bad I want to get rid of the copier? Okay, all right, next page. Property insurance. This is based on the actual 2021 plus an increase. We basically just need to sit down and go through the policy and try to determine if we really have to have that kind of coverage. We haven't had a chance yet, and I know you're surprised, but I did get Peterkin's insurance the other day, and I'm not exaggerating this, okay? It's that tall, okay? And Johnny McGee, of all people, God knows heart, wants to review it, and right there, he has won my heart. Okay. Payroll taxes, obviously just based off of the payroll.
But wait, if the payroll goes Payroll's down by,
Actually, payroll's not down. There's a math error at the bottom. Okay? The staff support ministry for the 90,000 is not in the total.
so we dropped the bishop and our staffing is staying about the same.
Actually, what's transpiring here is, yeah, but you have other things going on. It does include additional staff. A full-time communication, a possible youth director, development officer, okay, and perhaps a congregational officer. Not all these people are full-time. Some of these are part-time. And one of them was actually estimated as a 1099 because they're going to be working hourly and they're not going to be constant, okay? And that will have a direct effect on the payroll taxes.
But even with 90,000 added to the 455, 456, it's still about, isn't it still about $40,000 less than last year? And what you budgeted for staff?
Well, yeah, but see, you're going from this bishop to that bishop,
Well, I'm just looking at payroll taxes on what the budget is.
but they don't have payroll taxes. And then you've picked up a canon, he doesn't have payroll taxes. Okay?
So her point is correct, that the payroll tax should go down.
It should.
Yeah.
It should go down.
Well, but see, it's going to go up for the part-time employees and the full-time employees
That aren't in there.
that aren't in there.
And the bishops wouldn't have been in there anyway,
No.
so these are only lay people.
See, and you are talking about some significant changes in salary, okay, between Molly, okay, versus Tracy. Also, you're looking at a difference in ages, okay, and who's paying a little bit more in their federal versus who's going to pay a little bit more on the state, where maybe the employee before just did single and one and let it go, okay? And I kind of know that because I do the entry for them, okay?
And the budget's just an estimate anyhow. I mean,
Well, no, we work pretty hard at that. You've got a huge spreadsheet.
So do you think that's a good number?
You mean for payroll?
Yeah.
No.
For the payroll taxes.
Not anymore. But I believe it's going to change with Bishop Cowden once more on it, how it's going to work. Plus, David has retired, okay? David will no longer be part of that budget.
Let me just ask, I should know this, but the percent that our apportionment is that at 16%?
It's 15. Is it 16? It is 16.
It is 16.
Yeah.
I need to say that as a parish that can't afford a priest at present, the idea of the staff at the diocesan level increasing without having a fuller understanding of what those positions are and how they further our mission and how they impact our churches that are struggling, and being assessed at 16%, I have a real problem with that.
I don't blame you. See, the irony of all this, okay, and this will just floor you, these people that I'm listing that are in the payroll have been in the payroll estimate from, I don't know, 2010? Okay, maybe 2009. I mean, for some reason, I think they were there when I started. We've never hired any of these people. Okay? I don't know.
Probably not.
Okay? I don't know. But
Well, some of those positions could provide ministries to support to congregations that are struggling.
well, that is one of the goals, okay, as far as we are concerned. This is a very large transition.
I guess
Okay.
my point is just in talking about the budget and money, the problem that I have is the amount that we're assessed and then an increase of staff expenditures at the diocesan level. I don't mean to say that they're not worthy positions or that they wouldn't be wonderful to have. I'm just talking about.
I didn't
how
take it
they-
that way.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
No, see, I don't like the 16% either, okay? And
You could lower it now if you want.
I would if I could, okay? Well, hold on, we're not done. All right, I have seen that number, the percentage, come up and down over the years, okay? I've asked many questions, many times, why? Okay? Because see, in my mind, not only would it be better for all of you, okay? Flip back a minute, okay? I want you to flip back to first page. At the bottom, it's called National Church Assessment. Every dime that you give us, I have to pay them a percentage on it. If I can lower your percentage, it helps you, and it's not going to hurt us.
But we pay 15% to the national church.
Exactly.
And we're charging 16%.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right, and it's been worse in the past, actually.
Yeah, it's been low.
But what I'm seeing too is we have like fewer canons on staff. We've got a canon for this, a canon for that. Debbie Short in there is a canon, this person, that. And when those positions, when they retired, they didn't fill in behind them.
No, they
So, I
didn't.
mean, it's not like we still have a lot of positions. We have a lot of people that have had to take on extra responsibilities.
Yeah, yeah. Well, your accounting staff is now one, okay?
Yeah.
And that is, believe it or not, a very substantial savings right there. Okay? The executive administrator, her salary is not obviously what the last one was when she left. Okay? But she's picking up a lot more duties. And I'm picking up a lot more duties. And heaven loved Canon Slater. Okay? Canon Slater is constantly on the phone, constantly talking to one church or another, one priest or another, and working on everything he possibly can. I have the office next to him, and I really want to move downstairs, so I don't feel sorry for him anymore. It would just be easier, okay?
And looking at that, I have a question. You know, you have conferences for, you know, your conferences for co-tutor, that's gone, and we know that. But is there anything for the canon for conferences and meetings? If you travel, is there anything for the canon?
Well, you just have canon travel at the time that this was made, okay? These are the only accounts that we were allowed to use.
For God's sake.
Okay? You'll be seeing a lot more as far as their accounts are concerned. The biggest thing that we're changing, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, okay? The travel accounts have included travel and meals and such to various churches. I would like for you to know where Bishop Calvin is, okay? And that he's actually, you know, been to Wheeling St. Matt's, and he's actually been to White Sulphur Springs. I'm trying to figure out an account that will just say something like travel expense to church, okay, rather than just travel expenses.
Visitation expenses.
Visitation.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I like that, okay.
Could be
That's
dialysis.
good. Huh?
Could be dialysis and travel.
Well, yeah,
As
but,
opposed to national church.
you know, there's other type of travel, you know what I mean, okay? Overall, if, and I think you were, our main objective, okay, is to move as many or discard as many expenses we can from the 9,000 accounts, which is our operating, okay, and moving it up into ministry support, okay? We are dropping a few other bills. I do like that bill being dropped. We will no longer be using paychecks. We have used paychecks for years. Paychecks between the three companies has run close to $8,000, okay? ACS has a package called Realm, all right? You're gonna love the price of this. I'm not paying anything more for it to pick up Realm. It will also give us a payroll module that works exactly like the paycheck module, except I don't have to pay for it, okay? On top of that, it will also run parochial reports, okay? We're gonna have to enter them because the National Church doesn't change the form quick enough for them to get it into the system for the year. But that's another savings. We're cutting everything we possibly can, except for one thing, okay? Are you ready? Our salaries. I just can't work for less than I'm working for now. I would if I could. Okay. We are, like I said, planning on updating. Yes. Am I done?
I'm moving you on.
Am I done? Well, that's it.
Is it?
That was payroll.
Question.
Answer.
Staff group insurance appears to be.
Yeah, so,
I'm not sure, I hate to say it.
I think,
Most of them.
yeah, and I think that, is that, did last year's include, Slater and his family?
It did, but see, I'm thinking it still falls on the same thing. See, this is a spreadsheet that this came off of. I have not had a chance to really look that hard at the spreadsheet except for the people that were on it.
Because
Okay?
we would have dropped some people, it doesn't say, it doesn't.
Well, but you gotta look at the people you're dropping.
I understand.
You're dropping 2 people that were on Medicare. All right, and that's a much lower rate. And we're picking up 3 people, okay, who 2 are married and all have children. Okay? Yeah, so that,
Normal increase also.
yeah.
I'm not surprised. I mean, ours, at St. Matthew's, we have 3 people with insurance,
Uh-huh.
and we're gonna be paying probably $90,000.
Yes.
So, and insurance is unbelievable.
But
It's just,
it's so handy when you
oh,
need
you
it.
have to have it. You can't buy it.
I don't
If
know.
you have the money for it.
I don't know how much of you know about me falling at the diocese last year, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I was out 3 months. I was living at CAMC. It was kind of like having a condo. The bill came in, and I don't think I've ever been more terrified in my life to open anything. The actual bill was $183,000. I had a $250 deductible. I am so grateful to Medical Trust, and frankly, it's gotta be, okay? I would have gone under so quickly, okay? And no amount of workman's comp or short and long-term disability would have made any difference, okay? Now,
Well.
where are you? Did I miss a whole page?
Yeah.
All right.
Sort of, but I think to.
Oh, I know why. We summarized all these.
Travel, and the only real major change, to your point, is the staff and health insurance. Most of these other figures are relatively the same as last year's budget.
Yeah, but now computer expenses, okay, where are we? There we are, and it is now sitting at 23.5. It was sitting at 23.5 and has gone up to 37,000. We are reducing those. Okay, we've got a couple of companies that we're not happy with, and we're gonna see if we can find somebody who can handle our operations a little better. We are probably gonna have to buy another server. Okay, this server was, how do I put that? Put together for us, okay, and it has never served us very well, all right? But it is going to cause a lot, yeah, it's going to cause a lot down.
One other question. In 2018 column for National Church Assessment shows no value.
I don't know.
Do that again?
I don't know. Okay, like I said, I don't have any idea why. Okay, some things disappeared and some things reappeared. Do you see anything else?
I don't think so.
You guys see anything else? Am I doing okay for the first time?
Yes.
I'm a little distressed that the numbers were calculated in May and not and it makes me anxious to approve a budget 7 months out, 7 months old.
Well,
This makes me a
well,
little anxious.
and especially with the amount of changes that we're gonna be making.
Yeah.
And some of these are already
And it should
made.
fall back onto council to address this. But I understand that it's a new year and things have changed, and so hopefully going forward, we'll have a better picture of where we are and how we anticipate in future years.
And it's more than that, it's just that it was, you had another bishop involved
Yes,
in
and
the
a
making
different
of this
finance person.
back
I
in May.
understand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just,
And I would hope that maybe by the 1st of January, you'd have a good budget, a better understanding of what the budget will be for the year.
Oh, I'm shooting for that, but I am gonna take Thanksgiving. And,
You did
I'm-
Christmas too.
I'm planning a few days for Christmas.
but I think, yes, to your point, when council meets next, there should be a more solid budget, and some of these numbers should be more refined by that time.
Well, see, and I said that earlier, we're going to, anytime we can show you an improvement, okay, back and forth, I think you guys should see it, okay? And I am weird, okay? I am very weird, I love general ledgers, and I like to see changes, okay? And I wanna see this change, okay? I wanna be able to, next year, all right, sit in front of you with a budget, all right, and all of you have big smiles on your face and go, look what you did, okay? I'm looking for a pat on the back, all right? I am, okay? I firmly believe, okay, that we can cut a lot of fat from the diocese, okay? Slater's not here, Tracy's not here, okay. And beat the staff we've got stupid, okay, to get it done, okay, including me.
I think the real message in all of this is, and Annette was hitting on it over and over again, is that you're gonna start to see a budget that better reflects what the diocese as a whole should be doing, which is ministry, and cutting a lot of the fat, to Annette's point, out of the diocesan house and all of those expenses that were, that needed to be refined, and needed to be trimmed, and found better ways of paying for things, and shifting that money to where it really needs to be. And to that point, maybe, we're not in charge, but maybe that could also lead to, those expenses being less, lead to a lower assessment, hopefully, The assessment was cut a number of years ago as well.
And then it went back up.
Theirs.
Okay.
And then it went back up, but it didn't go back up to what it was, because wasn't it 17 or
Oh, my
17
God.
and a half?
But it used to have levels.
No, it was 21 at one point.
It was based on the size of the diet or the parish and what the income was, and it was
Right.
different levels based on
Oh,
the
that's
parish.
right, I
income.
forgot
That
about
goes
that.
back to
And
the
that
Hawaii
makes,
Council. So,
that makes really good sense.
Sure it
too.
is, sure it
And
is.
when I was on council, it was 21.
Yeah.
Now, do you all produce routine reports for the diocesan council that go over actuals versus budget?
Oh,
Yes.
Variance analysis?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So,
That-
and council meets
that-
4 times a year, that's right,
Okay.
right.
So tomorrow, we're supposed to approve a budget.
Right now, right now, as far as approving this budget, I would like for you to, okay, because if you don't, I don't get Thanksgiving, okay? I'm very honest about that. And I have so much ground that I've got to be people to do the job too, okay? And Bishop Calvin, thinks that way. I believe, okay, that we could actually come up with a much better budget, and I will throw it through council anyway. I think council would be thrilled to see it, okay? I'm hoping they're gonna be thrilled to see it just because the fluctuation, all right? You'll have more solid answers, okay? And now after today, you know what's in the accounts, all right? you're gonna be able to see between this one and hopefully what we can take to council in January, such a difference. And I'll even do that. I'll actually run budgets up against each other, okay?
I kind of see that what we are approving are anticipated revenue and anticipated expense. How you realign, I think is going to be critical, so that there's some logic to this
Yes.
and refined.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that I don't have a question by this because we don't know what it is. So we know what the anticipated income is,
Mhm.
and we can offset that with anticipated expense, and then bring everything in line with new line items perhaps, or better
Okay.
refined line items.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I could very easily be wrong, but I think canonically, convention has to approve a budget. Whether it's accurate or not, the convention has to approve a budget in order for council then to, acting as convention in recess, to amend the budget.
Yes,
That is correct.
that is correct.
Just a question. Can, like we do with minutes, propose it as it is at the moment, expecting changes? You know, put some wording that says we expect there to be differences in where the money goes.
I have forgotten what it's called. It's been that long. I'm looking at you. All right. There was a given point in time where you would take a budget, all right, and you would actually kind of like start doing the projections through the budget, and would like to, all right, and see if I can figure out racism. I don't know how many trainings we need. I don't know if we even need trainings. I'm pretty sure we do. Okay, I know I'm behind. I know if nothing else, I need to do safeguarding God's children. Okay, I haven't. All right. That's over my holiday. Okay, but I really think, you know, the harder we work at it, the more we talk to each other, the more changes will happen.
But it's also those committees' responsibilities to come back to you to say what they need. And I don't think it's fair to you to add the burden of trying to determine what they need. They need to come back to you and say, this is what we need.
No, exactly.
Yeah, so you're not burdened with trying to analyze every group in the diocese to fund them.
And overall, simple email at the beginning of the year, all right, to the committees saying, you know, I want you to think about your budget for next year, and I want you to at least come up, you know, with where you're gonna be, what you're gonna do, how many you're gonna do this, okay? Give me a concept, give me a call. I don't think they can sit there and automatically think of every expense they might hit. And I do think I could help them with that.
But you need to tell them how much they have to work with.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with it. They don't have an open checkbook.
well, no, they don't.
Yeah.
See, and that's another thing. We kind of have to, you know, watch what we're, you know, saying. Yeah, you can go to Hawaii, okay, and you can talk for a little while about stewardship, fly on back. You see where I'm going.
I think one of the examples of how diocesan resources can help at the parish level is in stewardship. The diocese pays a membership, and I'm not sure what it is, to belong to the Episcopal Network for Stewardship, known as TENS. Every congregation can get wonderful free material on stewardship through the diocesan TENS membership.
Okay, well, that's lack of communication. I've been paying TENS all of these years. Apparently, no one knows how to access it.
We do. We use it.
Okay,
I
I
knew
knew
other
about it. I knew about it.
other congregations.
Yeah.
Are you using?
And their representatives actually called me this week.
No.
Yeah. And all you have to do is get the annual credentials come to the diocesan level. You get the credentials, you can log in, you can download all sorts of wonderful resources from TENS. And you can use it in your in your stewardship year-round. Okay. Everybody feel good?
Always.
I think it's time to adjourn. What do you think?
Well, thank you for getting